Hey, my YouTube pistol aficionados, it's the Range Ronin. I have carried a CZ75 BD, a full-size, all-metal, and heavy pistol, which was my carry following the Beretta M9. Next followed a CZ75 Compact, a smaller, but still, an all-steel pistol. I can weigh heavy on the hip after several hours of carry. The CZ75 BD, fully loaded, weighs 2 pounds 11.5 ounces with 16 plus 1 rounds of 147 grain JHP. By comparison, the CZ75 Compact loaded weight is 2 pounds 7.9 ounces loaded with 14 plus 1 rounds of 147 grain jacketed hollow point. Could there be an answer to the weight issue without going smaller with less ammunition? Yes, there is. There just happens to be a CZ pistol that is compact and lightweight, compared to the ones mentioned, that weighs in at 2 pounds 2.8 ounces loaded with 15 plus 1 rounds of 147 grain jacketed hollow point 9mm ammunition. Stay tuned, because I'm going to tell you all about it.
The PCR name stands for Police Czech Republic, the group for whom the model was originally designed. Identical in size to the CZ75 Compact, it weighs in at a full quarter-pound lighter owing to its forged aluminum frame, making it more comfortable for everyday carry. Remarkably like the P01, the PCR uses the same alloy frame minus the light rail, making it even more concealable. Equipped with a decocking lever, the PCR is designed to be decocked before holstering. After decocking, the trigger pull is much like that of a double-action revolver. While there is no need to flip a safety lever off, the longer and heavier trigger pull for the first round requires the conscious decision to pull the trigger before firing. Other additions to the PCR include rubber grip panels, serrated front and back straps for improved handling, and a loaded chamber indicator. Source: CZ USA.
The CZ line of pistols brings you everything that you look for in a pistol: forward styling, reliability, and high capacity. I have become an ardent fan of CZ firearms, and especially the CZ line of pistols, ever since my first purchase of a CZ75B Omega model. Subsequent models followed, to include the CZ75BD and CZ75 Compact. With 2 full-size and 1 compact 9mm CZ pistol in the collection, it was time for a lightweight compact to round things out to an even number. The CZ75D PCR was the logical choice. Everything about the CZ75D PCR is exactly right, from the rubber grip panels to the front sight. There is really nothing on this pistol that I needed to change. That is saying something, since I do like wood grips on pistols that can bear them. However, I do have the option of changing grip panels should I desire. I have exercised that option, as you can see. More on the grip panels in a bit. The CZ75D PCR is comparable in size to the Glock G19 and CZ P01, and others, and it has a 15-round capacity. The CZ75D PCR is very compact, with an aluminum alloy frame, but lacks the M3 rail frame of the CZ-P01, and features a smaller muzzle point and snag-free 3-dot luminescent sights. I am not a fan of rails, and the CZ75D PCR fits that requirement. The CZ75D PCR is a popular choice for a carry weapon, known for its inherent accuracy and weight distribution. Fit in the hand is near perfect, with grip angle and styling of the grip panels, which do provide an excellent gripping surface. Yes, the CZ75D PCR is a hammer-fired pistol. I prefer a hammer over a striker-fired pistol because I can see the hammer, and these old-school eyes just favor this view of the pistol's backside. I have to say that, for me, I struggled with upgrading the pistol. Sure, the luminescent sights could be exchanged with night sights, and the grip panels exchanged for a set of G10 or even wood, the latter being my preference. The sights are adequate, however, and I have used worse. I will say that the provided grip panels are generally nice and really provide a fine gripping surface. Some have complained that when carrying the pistol, the rubber grips will catch on the clothing and cause printing. However, I carried the CZ75D PCR for a week. Found that did not happen, at least for me. But I did succumb to my wood panel preference, and a set of cool hand wood grips with checkered diamond cut texture now adorn the pistol. As you probably know, CZ75 has been around for a long time, since 1975 in fact. As such, it would be considered old school by modern pistol standards, where striker-fired pistols are the norm. Old dogs like me simply like wood, steel, and hammers, and the CZ75D PCR has all three. Additionally, we like a handgun to have style, but more importantly, it must be reliable and accurate. Again, CZ comes through. CZ75D PCR has been the workhorse of European law enforcement and military, and was the reason for the CZ75D PCR's existence. So, let's take a good look at the CZ75D PCR. CZ pistols slide rides within the frame, which lends to a smaller profile and excellent accuracy, as the rails are full length. An excellent beaver tail prevents the hand from hammer bite and allows a full, high grip on the firearm. For some, the lack of the slide height may pose a problem, but I found the slide easy to grab and manipulate due to both front and rear slide serrations. The CZ75D PCR is a decocker-only model, which means that there is no manual thumb-operated safety. As such, CZ75D PCR cannot be carried in Condition 1, otherwise known as cocked and locked, but can be carried in a modified Condition 2, a round chambered and the hammer lowered to a quarter cock position after decocking. The first shot happens after a long double action pull, whereas subsequent shots are in single action mode. The controls, decocker and slide lock, are large and easy to manipulate. The decocking lever has two positions: fire, up, that is the normal position, and a spring-loaded decock position. As large as the controls are, they are well blended into the overall look of the pistol. The decocking lever is both a bane and a blessing. Blessing is that the decocking lever works extremely well. With the hammer cocked, simply push the decocking lever down and slightly forward, after pointing the muzzle in a safe direction, of course. You will hear a click as the pistol decocks. Release the decocking lever, allowing it to move up under spring tension, and the hammer falls to the quarter cock position. The bane is that the decocking lever is at the very rear of the pistol. It may cause some shift in the grip on the pistol to engage the decocker. However, and although I have somewhat large hands, I can simply raise my thumb up to the lever and engage it with no issues. Personally, I do prefer the decocking lever on the Sig Sauer line of pistols, where the decocking lever is more forward on the pistol, but the one on the CZ75D PCR works simply fine. Thank you. As an alternative to the decocker, and I have used this method not only on 1911 pistols, but Beretta and other CZ pistols. Point the pistol in a safe direction. Squeeze the hammer between the thumb and middle finger of the support hand, while covering the front of the hammer with the forefinger. Pull the hammer slightly to the rear, pull and release the trigger. Then, softly ease the hammer forward until it rests against the safety notch, the quarter cock position. Completely holding the trigger while lowering the hammer places the hammer against the firing pin. While you can use this method, the preferred method is to use the decocker. That said, I never fully trust a decock safety and, at times, prefer to manually decock the pistol, which puts me in control and not some mechanical device. Once the pistol is decocked, the pistol is in DA, or double action mode. In this condition, it takes 11 pounds and 14.6 ounces of trigger pull to drop the hammer. Once the pistol cycles, a 6-pound, 11.2 ounce trigger pull drops the hammer. Trigger pull is smooth throughout its travel in double action or single action modes. Some consider the long and heavy double action trigger pull as a detriment. I, however, do not. Most of those folks have never fired a revolver, have no or little experience drawing a revolver from a holster and firing it. Old school guys like me who have carried a revolver as a civilian and Leo can more quickly adapt over someone who only grew up with polymer striker fired pistols. Lastly, if you question if the pistol has a round chambered, CZ75D PCR has a chamber-loaded indicator on top of the slide. If the indicator is up, a round is chambered. Of course, as a responsible firearms operator, we should know at all times whether the firearm is loaded and a round chambered. Enough said about that. Make sure that the pistol is pointed in a safe direction. Magazine is out of the pistol and the chamber is void of all live ammunition. From a full rest or quarter cock position, pull the trigger completely through its cycle. The hammer will move to the rear as the trigger is pulled and fall forward when released by the sear. Pull the hammer to the full cock position. Press the decocking control lever completely down. Pressing down the decocking control lever actuates the lowering of the hammer from the cock position to the hammer safety notch position without any need to pull the trigger. Even if there is a cartridge in the chamber, the pistol, hammer decocked, is safe for all normal handling in this state. The last check is the disconnector operation. Pull the hammer to the full cock position. Push or pull the slide fully to the rear. Press and hold the trigger fully to the rear. Slowly allow the slide to move forward while releasing and pulling the trigger. The hammer should not fall until the slide is fully forward into battery. Finding myself once again at my local gun club and range, I plan on putting the CZ75D Compact PCR through its paces. The decocking lever works very well and has a positive click when going into the decock position. The exceptionally smooth double-action trigger pull is about 11 pounds, 11.6 ounces, with a 5-pull average. There is what seems a long bit of free play before take-up begins. The stroke, however, is shorter than I expected. With the hammer fully forward, and when pulling the trigger, the hammer engages the quarter cock notch, the safety notch. At this point, the trigger finger can relax, and the hammer will remain at the quarter cock position. This could be somewhat considered as a staging point, so to speak, but many, including myself, carry with the hammer down at this point. Once I figured out my POA and POI, some Mozambique drills ensued. Beginning the 3-round string from a decocked pistol at 7 yards resulted in all rounds impacting close to where I wanted them. Trigger reset is quick and clean. In single action mode there is, surprisingly, a shorter take-up than I expected. The wall is slightly mushy, but the trigger breaks clean and crisp. The single action trigger pull weight is 5 pounds, 14.7 ounces. The CZ75D PCR, as normal, ran without flaw, barring the magazine release issue. Although the frame of the CZD PCR is alloy, felt recoil is not that much different from the CZ Compact with its steel frame. Felt recoil from the 9mm is mild in the first place. The rubber grips of the CZ75D PCR help to soak up some of the recoil, and the grip contour aids in control. If you change the grip panels, as I did, felt recoil is a bit more pronounced, but not by much. I wish that I could report an issue with the pistol, because as a reviewer of firearms, there is always something to nag about. So here is one. The magazine release button, although extended, does take some force to press inward, and one would think that after that concentrated effort, one would be pleased with the magazines falling free from the magazine well. Well, one would be disappointed, as magazines do not fall free, at least the magazines provided with the pistol. It must be stripped from the magazine well. I have read about this in other reviews, and I am looking for a fix, if any. With that said, I inserted other CZ and Mekgar magazines that I have, and most fell free without issue, especially the Mekgar. That tells me that it is a magazine with issue with the provided magazines, and some experimentation will ensue. Like apples on a tree, magazines must fall free. Oh my, I made a rhyme. This is the point in my reviews where I tell you that the firearm under review can be concealed. So I will. The CZ75D Compact PCR can be concealed. Any holster that the full-size CZ75 can fit into will also house the CZ75D Compact PCR. I will say that my CZ75 pistols will never feel Kydex on their surface. As with any concealed carry, doing so requires planning, the right gear, the right dress, and the right attitude. One leather holster option from Simply Rugged Holsters is the Cumberland holster. I have this holster for several of my pistols to include any 1911, the Glock G41 and G34, the Beretta 92 M9, and one has been ordered for the CZ75, which includes the CZ75B Omega, the CZ75BD, and the CZ75 Compact. And now, the CZ75D PCR. Two holsters that I like, which are designed to fit the CZ75B, is the Falco A112 Hawk and the Craft Shoulder Holster System with mag pouch. The Gelco Miami Vice and Miami Vice 2 shoulder holster systems, albeit more expensive than the Craft system, are also excellent choices. Another holster is the Cuda from Simply Rugged. This holster can be used OWB or IWB. Straps can be purchased for IWB carry. The CZ75, in any form, full-size or compact, is a pleasing pistol to look at. CZ has coated the pistol in what they call black poly coat. That does not mean that the pistol is shiny. It is not, which is fine with me, because shiny pistols are harder to conceal. I wear a black t-shirt as part of my casual dress, and a black pistol and holster makes a good concealment option. So, the question is if I would carry the CZ75D PCR is still out there. The answer is a resounding yes. In fact, it is one of the few pistols that I enjoy carrying. The weight tells me that I am carrying something substantial, and that gives me some confidence in the firearm that I am carrying should I need it when the elephant arrives. If you are in with the Polymer Wonder 9 crowd, you owe it to yourself to become familiar with the old world products that are just as relevant today as they were in their heyday. And who's to say that their day is over? It will also make you a more well-rounded shooter. Once again, I am happy to say testing and evaluating this pistol has been a joy. With the current handgun market geared towards slim and polymer concealed carry pistols, it is easy to overlook something like a CZ75 variant. During the evaluation period, I began to think about my current carry system and the possibility of going back to the CZ permanently. While I will not be hanging up the 1911 anytime soon, I think the CZ75D Compact PCR has earned a longer stay, as has the Beretta M9 and my other CZ pistols. I am certain this gun will be revisited for a follow-up review. Opinions sometimes change regarding carry pistols. I know mine have, out of necessity, but I can say with confidence that the CZ75D Compact PCR is one fine compact pistol, and it would make a great summer carry. That's all I have to say. I am happy not only to share my opinions, but also the opinions of others, as they may also have an influence in their decision to invest, or not, in this pistol. So, in the description section below of this video is a series of links to some reading and viewing material. Well, I thank you for staying with me for this review, and I hope to see you again in the near future. Until we do meet again, stay vigilant, stay armed, and stay safe out there.